Hi, Scott here. Today I'm going to show you how easy it is to transfer one of your songs from your current digital distributor to a new digital distributor. I've done this before and it seems scary and stressful, especially if you have a song that's on a Spotify playlist or a user-generated playlist, or if it's a song that has a lot of streams and you don't want to lose that stream count because it's kind of a important vanity metric. I get it. Anyway, it's a daunting task, but I'm going to show you it's pretty simple, pretty easy. Today, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be transferring my song called You'll Never Get to Heaven with That Attitude. We're going to be transferring it from my current distributor, CD Baby, to my new distributor, LANDR. I'm going to give you a checklist of the things you need to have before you get started. Number one, and most importantly, is you need the audio file, the WAV file of the song. I'm interrupting myself because I realized I'm going to make a checklist for you that you can download. Just scan this QR code here. I'm going to include a checklist of the things I'm talking about today, the things you need when you're transferring a song from one distributor to another distributor. And then I'll throw some other helpful things in there, especially if you're planning on promoting a new release or just basic digital distribution stuff. So scan this code or click the link in the description. You can download like a little PDF checklist for free. If you don't have that on hand, that's a big problem. Talk to your mastering engineer, search through your files. You need to have that file, and it's got to be a WAV file. The second most important thing you need is album artwork, or single artwork in this case. Usually that's 2500 by 2500 pixels, 3000 by 3000 pixels, somewhere in that range will do. Next, there's some key metadata you need to have. The original release date is nice to have, the ISRC, which I'll talk about in a second, and then some basic metadata like artist name, song title, contributors, additional artists, songwriters. If you have the original barcode, that's great, genres, etc. If you don't have some of those items, that's okay. The main thing we want to make sure we have is the artwork, the audio, and ideally the ISRC. If you don't have the ISRC code, or that's redundant, but if you don't have the ISRC, International Standard Recording Code, this actually still works. I've done it before where I've had my new distributor generate me a new code, and a lot of the DSPs still were able to identify the sonic fingerprint of this song and match it up. So today we're moving this track, You'll Never Get to Heaven with That Attitude. Now, I'm offering myself as a sacrifice because it's a little daunting, because as you can see, I have this song on over 800 playlists. So if I mess this up, it'll remove this track from all of those editorial and algorithmic and user-generated playlists. That could be a bad thing. I've also accumulated over 200,000 streams for this song. That's pretty good, and I don't want to lose that. So today we're going to migrate this song from CD Baby, my current distributor, over to LANDR, my new distributor. By the way, if you want to get a major discount on switching to LANDR, you can do that by clicking the link in this description, or just go to landr.com/other record labels where you can get a huge discount from me. I'm loving LANDR because of some of the other features, including their digital distribution is awesome, but there's some great stuff like sample packs, some plugins. There's a whole suite of features for producers and artists and record labels. So check them out at landr.com/other record labels. This is easier than you think. The biggest thing I want you to keep in mind is that for a brief moment, there's going to be two versions of this song, meaning I do not want you to delete the current version of this song until we can verify that the new version is up online and available to the public. The two things that you need to remember today is one, that metadata checklist, the audio, the album title, the album cover, the genres, etc. And two, we're going to upload the new version, which will mean there's a duplicate version of your song or album, if you're doing this with the whole album, up on Apple Music and Spotify for a very short period. I'll explain that in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go through into my LANDR screen here, and I'm going to add a new release, and I'm going to go import a release. You won't lose your play counts and your playlist inclusions. How cool is that? We'll import your ISRC, so you don't even need to have that. That's awesome. All you'll need is the original audio files, complete any missing information, and then submit the release for our team. Let's go and get this code. I'm doing this simply by clicking on the three dots and going copy song link. We'll drop it in here and continue. Okay, there we go. We got some errors. Let's take a look at the errors. So it found the track and it found the ISRC code. Luckily, LANDR grabbed it for me already. This track has already been released. This is the title, the language. Let's fix that. It's in English. Let's go with folk. I don't really ever care too much about this. Singer-songwriter. Yep, this is the artist. It already found the artist. There's no featured artists on here. There's no contributors. I'm the producer. We're not splitting revenue. No, this track Oh, yes, this track contains lyrics. Not explicit. Oh, cool. We get to add lyrics, not explicit. Okay. Composition, original. Oh, add a composer. Scott Orr, we already got me in there. There's no AI used in this. Okay, so year of composition, year of recording, they've got all that. They pulled that from the track. They pulled the original release date from the track. This is so awesome because these are things I told you in the intro that you had to have, and now you don't have to have them. Yes, there's a label. Other songs is the label. Next. So in this case, they're not pulling the artwork from your old digital distributor. So as I mentioned, you need to have that file, which I do. Lucky for me, I have a folder with all of my artwork I've ever done. So there we go. Okay, so now we're picking our distributor or our DSPs. Yep. Cool. I'm just going to pick these monetization options here. Okay, so we're going to look at the schedule right now. And we're going to look at this distribution option, which is really important. When would you like this to release to go live? We want it to go live as soon as possible because we want to get this process as quickly as possible where we want to see the main release there, and then we want to delete the old one. Just clicking through some agreements. Oh, audio file. Did I forget to upload an audio file? You must provide proof of rights for this track. Okay, so I don't know if you'll run into this too, but I've just run into this. I'm walking you through the whole process right now, so I wasn't expecting this, but they want me to prove that this is my song, which is probably a good thing, right? Because you could just pick any song on Spotify and copy the album link and paste it into LANDR and start to transfer somebody else's song to your profile. That's a bad thing. So we need to prove to them that I'm the real artist of this track, that I was the one who originally uploaded it. I don't exactly know what they're looking for here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to CD Baby and I'm going to screenshot my original account page for this upload. So here you can see I have the UPC, I have everything. So I'm going to just screenshot this and we'll see if that works. So I'm going to go upload file. I actually don't know if this is going to work. We're going to wait a couple days until I hear back from customer service to see if there's an issue, but I think it'll work. Okay, so in all of this, like a big dummy, I've missed the spot where you're supposed to upload the audio file, and that's why it's giving me a red flag. But I found it. I'm not so dumb after all. Choose track. Okay, I found my WAV file. I uploaded it. It's now processing. Here's a pro tip for you. One of the nice things about this digital distributor LANDR is that once you upload your WAV file, you can quickly listen to it to make sure you have the right file uploaded. I've made that mistake before. Good, that's the right song. We're good to go. Okay, so I'm saving all this. Save. We've already done this. We've got the artwork. And now we review everything, make sure the metadata is correct. All good. We're releasing it as soon as possible. Now we click submit. Okay, so the release has been submitted. I'm going to pause this video and we're going to wait until this song is approved by LANDR and uploaded to all of the DSPs, because here's the important step that you need to keep in mind. You want to wait until you see this duplicate album appear on places like Amazon or iTunes or Apple Music. Now, you may actually not see this track duplicate on Spotify, because Spotify is really good at identifying that, hey, somebody else is uploading a different version of this song, and they amalgamate those releases automatically. Whereas on Apple Music, you might notice two singles with the same artwork, the same release date and everything. So once we see all of that, I'm going to come back in a couple days and we'll go ahead and delete my CD Baby version. And then we'll wait a couple days after that and we'll come back and make sure everything is smooth. And so what we're hoping for here is that the song is uploaded successfully with LANDR. Then the original version through CD Baby is removed successfully. And then finally, the third step we're looking for, and we'll come back and finish this video, is did we retain the streaming numbers? Did we retain the playlists? So it's a three-step process. Upload the new version, delete the old version, then check that everything was smooth. I've done this before. It's not too difficult. I was really surprised to see that LANDR had a transfer option. So I was able to grab some of that metadata from the background, because some of you might be like, oh, I don't know where I'm going to find my ISRC from or the original release date. And so it's nice that LANDR pulled that. So let's see how long it takes to get up. Then we'll go into my CD Baby account, delete that, and we'll make sure everything's good.
3 days later.
Okay, so it's been a couple of days. See, I'm wearing different clothes. And I want to give you an update. And this is kind of part 2 of the update. So what we are looking for is, do we have a duplicate version of this single on places like Apple Music? So let's take a look. And we can see, yeah, we've got 2 singles. They look the exact same. Great. In this process, the only platform that's really going to be helpful to us is Apple Music, because as you can see here on Amazon removes that duplicate. And the same thing is true for Spotify. They recognize it's the same song, so they remove that song. Okay. Now what? Because we see the duplicate in Apple Music, we know that the version from LANDR has gone through. Also, to give you some insights into the process, basically on day 0, as soon as I finished filming that video, I got my confirmation that the music was being processed. And then I think the next day, which was even a weekend, it was delivered to all the partners. And then the day after that, I noticed it on Apple Music. So literally it was like less than 48 hours. By the way, you can still see on Spotify, and we'll double check this after I delete the other version, that it still has retained the amount of streams that I have. Now we're going to go to my old digital distributor, CD Baby. We're going to log in, we're going to find my release, and we're going to delete it. Now, this is the part you might get scared of, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not permanent. It's not spooky. We know that our music is already up in a new version through LANDR. So I found my album here in CD Baby, and I'm going to go down to, and this will look different for every digital distributor, but I'm going to go to distribution, and I'm going to go to cancellation options. And then I'm going to say, cancel all digital distribution. Yes, cancel this album. Now, like I say, I've done this before, and surprisingly, it happens in less than 24 hours, the music is removed. And again, we're going to use Apple Music as kind of our standard test to make sure that it's been removed. And we'll know that because there will be no longer the duplicate version of this song, and we'll be back to just one version of this single. Everything should look the same at Spotify, Amazon Music, and we want to make sure over at Spotify that we've retained our stream count and that the song is still on any user-generated playlists or editorial playlists that it was originally on. So all we have to do now is wait a couple of days or a couple of hours until we see that duplicate version removed. We check that everything is good, and we're done.
3 days later.
Okay, so it's a new day. See, new shirt. And it's probably been about 2 or 3 days. And just yesterday, I checked Apple Music to see if my track had been removed. Remember, we were seeing a duplicate, which was fine, which is what we wanted to see. And so I checked yesterday and I noticed it was gone. When exactly was it gone? When did CD Baby effectively remove the duplicate song from all of the DSPs? I don't know for sure. I wasn't watching like a hawk, but let's just say this whole process has taken under a week. I really don't know exactly. I have to go back and look at the files. But from when I uploaded it, then to when I saw that the second version was online, and then I allowed my previous digital distributor to delete that original version. And then from when that original version was actually gone, it was less than a week. I would say it's about 5 days. And in that 5 days was a weekend. I'm not sure if everyone works on the weekend or not. So a very easy process, a very painless process. And LANDR actually makes it easier because when you enter in your Spotify song URL, it pulls most of the metadata from that. Very handy. The good news is we can see that the song is still on the same playlists that it was on before. It still retained the same streaming numbers. Everything looks the same, and honestly, there's no chance that my audience or my fans would have noticed. Maybe some keen eye would have saw the duplicate version on Apple Music for a couple of days, but no big deal. So that's how you transfer a track from one digital distributor to another digital distributor. Nothing to worry about, nothing to stress about, something that people do all the time. And so if you're looking for a new digital distributor, why not try my friends at LANDR? And through me, you can get a special discount on your annual subscription. What I like about LANDR is there's more than just your digital distribution options. They're a great digital distributor, as we've seen, very responsive and fast. But there's more that comes with your annual subscription, including sample packs, access to incredible studio plugins, smart links and promotional tools, online courses, and friendly customer service. So check them out by going to LANDR, that's spelled LANDR.com/other record labels for your exclusive discount, or you can click the link in the description. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope that I've shown you how easy this is. You can do it too.